Particular conversation has been a long time coming. On Motivation today, we're joined by Mfonobong Inang. He's an author, he's a communication strategist, and we're going to be talking about the consequences of elections. That word, consequences and elections, doesn't often come together. But the question is, why must we all vote? It's great to have you on the couch.
Good morning.
This morning.
Nice to see you again.
So this particular topic is apt for the climate that we find ourselves in right now. Elections are on the way.
True.
And we need to understand the implications.
Exactly.
Maybe I wouldn't use the word consequences right now. I would use the word implications of voting. All right, then. So why is it that it's important for us to vote?
Thank you very much. So after God is government.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because human beings are built in a society, and societies are regulated. For those of us that believe in God, God regulates the heavens. The Bible says, I'm a Christian, so the Bible says the earth he has given to the sons of men, meaning that governance, talks about the government being on the shoulder. Governance is important, both in heaven and earth. So after God is government. Do you understand? So when you don't vote, you have actually voted. Do you understand? A democracy...
So not voting has actually is a vote?
Because the illusion is that democracy is a game of majority. No. It's a game of majorities of those that involve themselves.
Okay.
Not majority of the people. That's why a lot of people are saying one thing, but the votes say something else. So I think that people don't realize that voting determines the price of Gary in the market. They don't understand. They have not drawn that line from bad governance to, say, for example, the price of Gary. They think it's just happened. That's not how it happens. Do you understand? Some actions trickle down. We're called trickle-down economics. Do you understand? This flooding, there are consequences for it. December, meaning that your price of rice is going to be expensive. Someone did not do what they should do, and somebody's farm got overridden by flood, and it's coming down to you because you pay more for rice. You pay more for things, the staples you should ordinarily buy. Do you understand? So these are examples of consequences.
Okay.
So if the security person does not do their job, somebody will on the loose. Do you understand? So these are real-life consequences.
Touch on what voter apathy
means
and why it's happening so much in this climate. Thank
you very much. So the biggest problem in Nigeria is voter apathy because people have not seen reward for their votes. Do you understand? You campaign for somebody, you go out to the sun, you stay 3 hours to get your PVC, you vote, and you don't get the benefit. So they say, what's the need? Do you understand? So that voter apathy is because they don't see any benefit. They don't see nothing excites them about governance. Do you understand? And also the kind of candidates that the parties throw up don't excite young people. Okay. Which I'm talking about, young people are one of the biggest people that have suffered voter apathy because young people, they are very progressive, quote unquote. They are very cosmopolitan, they're very futuristic. So certain candidates don't inspire participation. Do you understand? So one of the things is partly the fault of the political parties because they keep throwing up uninspiring candidates. Also because the young people, they believe that as long as I'm okay, as long as I can,
for myself,
it's not important. So increasingly, we are seeing that people are realizing that there are consequences and their lives on the line. So
now, okay, you've mentioned young people, which it kind of feels like this conversation is sort of targeted at them.
Exactly.
But then who else is this conversation for?
We have, there are two more groups, religious people and those in the inner cities. Why I mention religious people? Because like I mentioned on the first time I came here was that we have not found a congruence between our theology and our ideology. Okay. Do you understand? People pray to God, God will do it, but they don't believe that they will vote. Okay. A lot of prophecies are conditional. Do you understand? Because if you do this, if you sow this, you reap the So don't think, oh, God said Nigeria is going to be great. Prophecy is great. I believe that. But you must be praying and you must be practicing. Okay. So there must be a congruence between your theology and your ideology. People just outsource everything to God. As long as I pray. It's not a bad thing to pray. I keep saying it. It's not a bad thing, but prayer is not the master key. It's one of the keys. You must also realize that you must engage civic authorities. You must vote. You understand? You must engage, you must determine who leads you. Also because inner cities, because poverty and illiteracy have been weaponized. So they vote along ethnic and religious lines. They don't vote for competence. They vote because Titi is from my side of the country or it's in my political party. And meanwhile, she or he may not be the best person. Okay. So they have too sentimentally primordial attachment. So our job is to educate those that don't necessarily know better. Because, again, illiteracy and poverty are weaponized against them.
I have to bring you back a little bit further back to the religious aspect. I'm still trying to understand how you mean in terms of religious people. So, for instance, is there anything in the Bible that talks about voting?
there's nothing in the Bible because, you know, it's in, like prehistoric time. The word voting is a modern coinage, right? So what we have is leadership examples. For example, now in Israel, the people wanted a new king. It was they just wanted a new king.
Yeah.
Why do you need a new king? They couldn't say. Yeah. Oh, the only qualification Saul had was that he was taller than everybody.
He was just taller than everybody.
That's all. Sentiment. They did not interrogate him. They did not find out was he the anointed of God or what. Nothing. Paul was the only thing that I read there was that Paul was taller than every other person else. Paul turned out to be a disaster. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when they suffered the pain of Paul, they came to, they said, like, put it in street language, they borrowed themselves sense. They said, let's go and find the competent person. David did not campaign for president. They went to meet him at Hebron. You will be our king, because they have learned the consequences of having bad leadership. So there may not be voting, but there's consequences for bad leadership. Just like Solomon. You know, after Solomon's reign, the son wanted to take over. People say, son, what are you going to do for us? Now they are engaging, they didn't engage the father. Now they're engaging the son. They said, then the son was arrogant. Then everybody said, to your tent, O Israel. Okay. Because they realized that, well, Solomon was great, but we did not really interrogate him. Wow. Because we got carried away because he was the son of David. Well, son of David. Yeah. Let's leave it, son of David. We didn't interrogate him. He married 700 on state budget. Wow. He married 700 wives, 300 on a state budget. Do you understand? We did not interrogate him. Wow. He's a good guy. He needs some things. We like him. Yeah. But we did not interrogate him. So now the son, when he was king, he said...
Is it that we are not asking the right questions?
Exactly.
Or is it that the information we're being given is false?
So here's the thing. Because of when you have a dog in the fight, it's hard to be rational. You understand? A lot of cognitive dissonance and intellectual dissonance is coming in. For example, now, I may have a favorite candidate in the race, but because questions may unveil certain things, I don't want that kind of question. Let us vote him. Let's pretend that we did not see it. And it reminds me of something George Orwell, a book he read. It's called 1984. It says, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and your ears. We don't like to interrogate because, again, religion has been weaponized. We are used to idolizing people. Okay. You understand? Don't question how dare you question your father? You are disrespectful. How dare you question your politicians? Actually, your politicians are your employees. So conditioning by religion, by education, everything society says you cannot question people. Meanwhile, the office of the citizen is the most powerful offices in democracy. We, the people, the three most powerful words in a democracy.
So we need to ask the right questions.
The right questions.
We need to place our votes in the right place.
Exactly.
And we also need to understand who we are voting for.
Exactly.
But take note, if you do not vote, you have actually voted. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's always a pleasure having you in the studio with us. We still have loads of conversations to have, and we have space for your comments and contributions as well. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We can't wait to read them. Taking a quick break now. Stay with us.